Hi there, it's Daniel Sate, editor of Essential Install here. We're here at the wonderful Niko offices, having a look at all the wonderful things that are happening here and chatting to some of the key people. So we're here with Jeffry and Frederick. So if you want to just introduce yourselves from the camera and tell everyone what it is you do at Niko.
So I'm Frederick. I'm mainly focusing on design and mechanical architecture.
Okay.
And I'm Jeffrey, and I'm focusing on the user experience.
User experience. Well, that is such a big sort of area to cover. Obviously, you know, it's a big responsibility and it means different things to different people. So just explain to us a little bit how that remit feeds into smart home market. Why is it important? What is it you're trying to do with that experience, and why is it important for the end user and for the installer as well?
So smart homes are becoming increasingly more difficult and technologically advanced. So we are here to make that complex technology very simple and very easy to use for either the installer and either the end user.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think there's been a tendency maybe in the past to make smart homes too complicated, too technological, so it puts people off? Really what they want is simplicity. They want the power of the technology, but actually a simple interface is more powerful.
Yeah, exactly, because we are becoming more technologically literate. We are using apps every day. We are using our phone every day. So why do we expect something else from our homes? We have an iPhone which does amazing things. Then why should we bother people with very engineered products that are difficult to use?
And at the end of the day, you just want to come home, and you want to feel at home, and you don't want to get into the difficulty of trying to figure out a technical product, because that's what the issue is today. So a lot of other companies make a lot of products with a lot of functionality, and basically what an installer does, he installs this magnificent installation. You come home and you need to learn to work with your house. You need to adapt to your house, and that's what we're going to want to get rid of.
Yeah.
We want you to come into your house and be in the atmosphere, feel the flow of how things are going, and we want to also give the power to the user to influence that, and not to be constantly annoyed about this little technical thing that is malfunctioning or is just not placed on the right spot. So that's really what our mission is here.
So what are some of the key things that you've done and the key levers that you've pulled to kind of to get to that point? Because I completely agree. I think a lot of systems, they should be simple. There shouldn't be a great big book handover to go, this is how you use your home. It should be just so obvious that it's so what are some of the things that you've done to get further down that road?
We're thinking a lot about progressive disclosure when we talk about offering something to the user. So we only offer things when they make sense. So we don't bombard them with information. Once they come closer to one of our screens or interfaces, they will be greeted and welcomed to use it. But we're not there if you don't want to see us or feel us. I think we have some things we can show you later on and how that works.
That'd be great. Yeah.
That's the aspect of the user. So looking at our heritage as Niko, we have the phrase of that our owner likes to repeat, and that's compagnon de route. So we're helping you on the route. And originally Niko is a very strong brand looking at how we're going to support an installer. So here we're trying to do the same. So we're trying to also create a product that is easy to install and easy to configure it. If you look to other companies like KNX, I also worked on KNX products. You need to get a course of 2 weeks. You need to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, it's money you have to pay.
So at the end, for a day-to-day installer or even already a bigger installer company, they still need to trust on big integrators that ask a lot of money to integrate an installation. And at the end, there's no connection with the end user. So the end user gets a product he didn't have an involvement in. So that's where our Niko config software, which you need like 2 hours, and you can, it's so easy and intuitive to work with this program. So it gives like all the hassle of trying to figure out the technicalities you know, it's a program. You open it, you see the house, you put the lights, you put the connections. You can create complex configurations, and it's so easy. And that's what we're going to go to. So an installer has the essence and the time to work with his clients to figure out what is the best way to live in your house. Do you need sensors? Do you need switches?
Yeah.
Which type of lighting do you want? But not talking about like, I cannot do that because I actually don't have the experience with this type of motor. No, we take away
it's
that
fitting the
complexity.
system around the home and the client, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an important place to get to for the installer and obviously the end user. But I think what else is really interesting about the brand is you clearly have a very long design heritage in the home country of Belgium, but also in Europe, and a clear aesthetic kind of language. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind some of that, and how you go from the start of designing an interface or a switch to sort of really having something that's beautiful to use and to look at.
So, like you said, we have kind of a heritage of the design products. It's in the previous owners were always working on. It started with the Inter-70. It's a kind of a nice story where the owner, his wife, bought a Delvaux handbag, which is these nice leather products, and he had the idea, I'm going to make a leather switch, and that's one of the first switches with a nice aluminium casing and a leather front. And that really launched us working on the design aspect, where we really discovered that a switch can be an aesthetic advantage to your home. Before, it were technical products. So that's where we continue to evolve on. So with this specific one we're designing is the mix of, like you were talking about, the technology, the interface. I like the fact you said you don't want technology to shout to you.
Needs to be there, but you don't want to feel it.
Yeah.
Your house needs to learn along the way what you want and how you live, and support that way of living.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be there constantly shouting for attention.
Yeah. So that's why we're working with the LCD screens that are quite hidden, subtle LED lighting, and how we make the architecture now is we giving a massive spread of material choices for also architects and installers to discuss with their clients. So that's why typical Niko architecture is always you can switch easily the fronts.
Yeah.
We already have a lot of materials to choose out. And with this product, we even want to go a step further. So we always stick around the metals, and here we want to really look, okay, what does the architect
So specifically, what product are we talking about here? We need to give it a name and if we're allowed to at this point, that'd be great.
Yeah, the name is still under development. We're still working on the packaging and how to install this product. So basically, it consists of these three elements, and what Frederick is talking about is this one here. So we want to create a product that can be easily customized, can be even built in, and as we said, you don't want to feel it, so that we use a veneer, that we use a marble finish, that it blends in your interior, and that's a bit the route we are taking with this product.
So early days, but I mean, what sort of timescales are we looking at this coming to market?
Hopefully beginning next year.
Target is February 2026.
Okay, so I mean, looking around the offices here, it's clear that there's a lot of R&D going on, a lot of thinking, a lot of kind of, it's great to see all of these disciplines in the same place, because there's all this joined up thinking. You can really feel the kind of atmosphere back there as people are kind of coming up with new designs. So just tell us maybe about a couple of favourite products from the lineup at the moment that you think are particularly strong in terms of maybe the UK market being interesting for those particular products. What are some of your favourites from the lineup at the moment?
The Kid, of course, is one of the most favorite ones. Being a design buff, we're also working on a nice screen, I think, which is more interesting for your business.
Yeah.
But as a design buff, there's a lot of talk now that switches maybe will be replaced by sensors or something.
Yeah.
I'm not a keen believer of that. I think sensors play a very important part in how the automation has to work. but I think at the end of the day, you still like to interact with something,
Yeah.
and it gives a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't always have to be your phone, because with Niko Home Control, you can perfectly do your. I was yesterday with a client, and he's using his phone for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy then to install a product that he actually enjoyed touching. And
Yeah.
you know, there's still a sense of we're humans. You know, we like to have a tactile response.
Yeah. Yeah.
And control. You don't want to have your house behave in strange ways. Let's say you have a party going on in the garden and your sprinklers start going off. We don't want that.
No.
So, and the fun thing about this one is the diversity.
Yeah.
So today, and I'm looking at architects. They don't have a lot of choice. The main thing architects do when they take pictures of their projects is Photoshop away the switches,
Right.
because they're ugly. You know, you have these things and they don't match. They're on the wrong distance.
Yeah.
So that's why we really try to make a product also that is, you know, our product has to be plastered into the wall. So there's a kind of meditative preparation that has to be done. Okay, where are we going to place?
Yeah.
So then I worked with another company which was doing the same concept. And the nice thing here is the architect starts thinking with the installer, where are we going to design, where are we going to place this thing? Because at the end of the day, an installer has this basic, I drill a hole here and it's done. But when we're talking about plastering in, it goes before the installer comes. You need to start thinking of where are we going to install the switch? And that's I think the nice thing about this product is we really try to involve with the architect. We try to involve with the installer. And at the end, we try to involve with the end customer. So in that way, people are really, really connected to what we're trying to do.
And you guys have quite a lot, you know, wide range of switches, don't you? That different designs, different kind of tactile experiences that not only aesthetically kind of fit in well with a lot of designs, but also have that tactile that you were talking about that you have. I mean, I think that's such an important thing to have, just a nice switch that works. Obviously, having technology behind it that does something clever is great. But actually, a lot of people, especially I think in the UK, with period properties, having just a nice simple switch is quite a powerful thing. So you guys have that sort of quite a lot of things that can fit into that category.
Plus the ease of installation.
The ease of installing, that's number one. And then for me, also you talk about simple switches. With this one, we're taking it a step further. Let's say tomorrow you're traveling, you're exhausted, you come into your hotel, and that's the first thing you do. You try all the switches, the simple switches, and all the lights turn on, and you're awake and you can't sleep anymore. This one will solve those friction problems and moments of friction, because it tells you what it does. We'll show you later on.
I had exactly this problem last night in the hotel. There was one light, couldn't turn it off, couldn't work out how to turn it off.
Exactly.
So we just have to
stick your head under the pillow.
Basically,
sleep.
Yeah. So simplicity is obviously a big watchword. So can we talk a little bit about, you guys are going to be exhibiting at Essential Install Live, EI Live, I should call it. I still call it Essential Install Live just because that was its original word, and we shortened it to EI Live because everyone just started calling it that, which is kind of organic kind of way of calling it, but I just still keep calling it the old name, EI Live. So tell us about what visitors to the show can see from you guys at the show. Do we know what the lineup of products is going to be yet, or what can they come and experience from Niko?
I think first of all, this product will be very nice to touch and feel and see how it works.
Okay,
so that's the motive line we're talking about.
Yeah. So this is the switch product. People can come.
The switch, and we're also going to present a screen
or display. We're still working on the interface of the screen, making it very, very, very user friendly. But that's something for later on. And I think the most important bit that we want to showcase is and you mentioned it before, the ease of installation of our backbone, our Niko Home Control, the heart of your house. the one that connects everything that together. So I think that's going to be.
And
very
then we
nice to
have the
showcase.
rocker and toggles, which is also very nice. It's
Tell us a little bit about those.
so those actually originally started as a 230-volt switch.
Mhm.
So it's I don't know if you can call it analog, but
Yeah.
it's a very fun design. It's where we wanted to go a bit more to the essence, where you had the old toggle switches and essentially the rocker. What is different with this one is it's pure material. It's a full aluminum body that has been milled, anodized. The LED, which is very nicely designed, you don't see it until you switch it on. And that we redesigned now to work like actually with Niko Home Control, and we also expanded the functionality to a double push button. So, and I'm really kind of happy with the feedback of the the tactile feedback. When
Yeah.
you push something, it gives a little vibration. So that's fun.
Yeah.
So, but I think there, when you're a purist and you're really searching for a simple finish that just looks beautiful on a wall, that's your go-to product, I'd say. Yeah.
Brilliant. Sounds good. So be sure and come and check these guys out at EI Live. Be lots to see, lots to learn, I think, about the brand. If you're not aware of Niko, it has a really interesting heritage and story behind it. So pop along to the stand, have a chat with these guys, and learn all about it.